Because I'm still kind of new to the TikTok lives. If y'all can let me know. Good morning. Good morning.
Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to Facebook.
Good morning.
Hopefully. Shout out to YouTube. Hopefully.
Good morning.
So we're getting off to a later start, as you all can tell, and we're in our commercial kitchen today, not in the studio kitchen. Okay, this morning. All right, Lynette, do you want to say anything?
Sure. So good morning. Happy Saturday. Thank you all for joining us for our live, and y'all been coming on every Saturday and Tuesday. We appreciate you so much. We also have a lot of new followers. Welcome to our family. Thank y'all if you're on here for joining us. Feel free to share the live. I want to talk a little bit louder, or try to, because there's a lot of overhead noise from the fans and everything in the commercial kitchen space. So hopefully you all can hear me. There may be a little echo. So today, I own Lynette's Cakes and Catering, Washington, D.C. area. We do all kinds of lunch pop-ups, cooking lives, catering events for offices, all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to get going. We're a little bit late, we're going to get going. So today we're going to make a spinach and bacon quiche, and then we're going to do some fried breakfast potatoes. So I'm going to start here, then we're going to go to the stove, then we got to come back over here. So we're going to be traveling around the kitchen a little bit today. But let me just explain a little bit before we go over there. So I showed you all so far, I have a lot of veggies and things in my bowl. So of course we'll go over everything again a little bit later, but I just want to show you what we're going to start with. So we're going to do a spinach and bacon quiche. Like I said, I already have some bacon in my pan. I actually should turn it on, but I haven't even started it yet. I have my spinach, of course. I have my onion, my bell pepper, my potatoes. I got my seasoning for my quiche. We got all kinds of good things going on. And I have some garlic right here. I also have one deep dish, pie dish. I bought this from the store, one pie shell. And I'm actually going to pop this in the oven for just about 7 to 10 minutes. Now you can use pie weights if you have pie weights. I just usually pop mine in there. I know pie weights are traditional, but everybody doesn't have them. So sometimes I just pop it in there. I don't cook it too long because quiche does have to cook for a little bit of time, and I don't want the crust to get too dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven, and then we're gonna jump into everything else. Anything before I go?
Lynette, can you go on the computer and see how it looks on Facebook?
Okay. And the oven is at about 350.
Thank you, Facebook family. Thank you, YouTube family. And hopefully, Facebook, you got a good view, because you know how this technology is. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. We got off to a later start. Lynette and I, we both been under the weather. Excuse me. And we were very busy last week with catering. That's the reason why we couldn't do it on Tuesday night. And but we're here this morning, and we're gonna make this breakfast quiche. Excuse me. Let me try to say that 20 times fast. Lynette is just checking something for me, and she's coming back.
It looks good.
All right, great.
Yeah,
It's big enough. It's not.
it's big enough. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so.
Lynette's coming back.
Right now. Alright, so I already put the pie shell in the oven. I'm going to give that about 5 or 10, maybe 10 minutes, like I said. I'm going to go ahead and start to cut up some of my veggies. So the spinach is fine. Y'all know spinach cooks down to next to nothing. So you don't got to worry about chopping it up unless you want to. It'll be alright, believe me. I have my bell peppers. I have one large onion. I'm going to divide this one onion between the quiche and the fried potatoes, because it's a really big onion. If you're at home, just use like a regular medium-sized onion, you'll be fine. And then I have my 4 garlic cloves for my quiche. Now the potatoes I want to cut up after the quiche goes in the oven, because you know potatoes will turn brown if you let them sit out after you cut them. You can always soak them in water, but for fried potatoes, I don't really want to do that. So let's go ahead and start to cut up our veggies. We get some gloves. If y'all have questions, I hope Gregory can see questions. If you have them.
I really can't.
Can't?
No.
You can probably see them on TikTok, but not on
Yeah, I can't see them on
Facebook
Facebook.
and YouTube. Yeah.
I mean, unless I have that. You bring that over here, maybe I can see Facebook.
What?
The computer.
Okay, don't worry about it. All right, so let me go ahead and start. So let's start with our garlic cloves. So I'm just going to smash the garlic cloves first, and that's the easiest way to cut up our garlic. And you don't have to use garlic. I just like the flavor of it in the spinach and bacon quiche. So that's really up to you. Now, somebody reminded me last week about the lemon bar recipe from our other live, and I posted a picture and a video. So I'm gonna remember to post the the recipe for the quiche today. So stay on me, y'all. Stay on me. All right, so I'm just gonna chop up this garlic. Ooh, it smells good. I love garlic. But like I said, if you don't want it, you don't have to add it.
Thank you for those that are joining us. Please join us. Follow us. Is what I mean. And also thank you guys for sharing the video, the live rather. Thank you for sharing the live.
So that's our garlic. And you can use a garlic press if you don't feel like chopping it up. Let me do one thing, and this is something that y'all should do too. Y'all notice my cutting board is moving around a little bit. So usually when you're chopping things on a cutting board, you will put like a wet piece of paper towel under it or a dish towel, and that'll just keep it from sliding so much. So let me do that. You don't want to cut yourself. Alright, so it's not too wet. It's a little bit. I squeeze most of it out. Just gonna move this up. I do not want to cut myself. I don't want y'all cutting yourself either. So let's just make it a little flat. There we
You
go.
said, is that Michelle? Michelle said switch it to TT. Michelle from TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Switch to TT since you couldn't see our comments on the book. I shared on
okay.
Facebook.
Thank you so much.
Do you know what that means,
So
Lynette?
she switched over to TikTok because we couldn't see her comments on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm not, I'm not down with the lingo. TT stands for TikTok. That makes sense.
That may be Michelle Linda.
Oh, Michelle Linda?
I'm thinking it may be.
Oh, okay. It's hard, it's hard for me to see. Michelle, hold on one second. Michelle. Michelle Mabel?
Yeah.
Michelle Mabel.
That's
That's Michelle Linda?
I think so, yeah. Alright, so I've already washed my onion.
She said that's me.
Yeah, I figured it was. And I'm just going to cut it in half. Remember, we're using half of it for our fried potatoes, and the other half is going to be for our quiche. This is a big onion.
So B First says, I can't wait till our new house get built because you done learned me a few things on your page.
Oh, well, congrats on your new house, first of all.
Maybe
Thank
she's talking about. Maybe she's talking. Please explain that, because I really would like to know. What do you mean? Are you saying your house or are you saying our house?
Oh yeah, because we're gonna get a new house too. I'm hoping that it should be for herself and for us. All right, so let's chop up this onion. Remember, we're using half of it for the quiche and half of it for the potatoes.
Thank you for those who are following on TikTok. Unfortunately, Facebook, I apologize, but I can't read your comments. Live restricted for some audiences. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason violates community guidelines. Huh? Oh my God, this is on TikTok. I just got a crazy message. I'm gonna let Lynette see it.
I'll see it. Let me cut up this.
Is someone trying to put some crazy stuff on our live?
Let me see. I'm gonna check it out. Give me 1 second.
That's probably what's happening, Lynette.
Yeah, let me check it out.
Live is restricted for some audiences. So that means somebody's trying to put something on the live, I guess.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on, guys. Woo! This technology is crazy.
See?
Alright, so let me see. What does this mean?
Yeah, but I don't think you
So
should.
just push OK?
I think that's what we should do.
Okay.
So whoever's doing that, they won't be
Yeah.
able to see the live. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We just had a little hiccup. Thank you for joining, guys. The new people who are following. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for following, and thank you for joining the live.
Thank you. All right, so I got the onion and the garlic cut up in this bowl. This is going to be for the quiche. I'm going to put that right here for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut up the bell pepper for the potatoes. I have the other half of the onion right here. If you want to do more onion for the potatoes, you can, but I'm only doing 3 potatoes, so I don't need it so much. So I'm just going to cut the bell pepper. I just cut around the center, around that core part where the seeds are. Can they see?
Yeah, they can see.
And then just want to dice it up. So cutting the strips first, and then dice. Okay? Simple. Don't worry about it being perfect. We're not worried about that. Okay. Keep those fingers back.
Michelle
Don't wanna
says
cut
you
your
can't
fingers.
say the full name of the book.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. So you can't say another platform's name.
Oh.
Thank you, Michelle. See, those are things we don't know.
Oh, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
We're a little bit ignorant on some of the things on these platforms.
Yeah.
So you believe that's what it's related to. Thank you so
Probably
much.
Yep. Thank you, Michelle.
Said they don't like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But now we know. Thank you. All right, so we got our bell pepper and we got our onion. So remember, I'm going to come back over here and cut up the potatoes so they don't turn brown on me. So we'll just leave this for now, and then when we come back, we'll be able to cut up our potatoes. Good to go? All right, so let's go over to the stove. You ready?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still tripping
I know
about.
off of that message.
Yeah.
That was a little shocking. All right, so
Hey, wait a minute. What is this? We got bacon cooking?
got bacon. So I started the bacon already. Now with the bacon, in order to get the most fat render from your bacon, you want to put your bacon in a cold pan to start. You don't want to put it in a hot pan first. Put it in a cold pan. So I've started in a cold pan, then cut it on. Let me take the pie crust out the oven.
Just a little bit. Can we turn that what's the name off on that?
Yeah.
It's real loud. Sorry, guys. We're gonna try to eliminate some of the noise. The exhaust. We're gonna try to turn off the exhaust because it's real loud in here. That's one of the reasons why one of many reasons why we want. Oh, not the lights. Okay. There you go. That's a little better.
All right, so I started the bacon. I took the pie crust out just now, guys. That was brown enough. So I started the bacon in the pan a little bit ago, and you can see it has a good amount of fat already rendering out. If you start your bacon in a hot pan, it more or less sometimes will stick to the pan, and you won't get as much fat out of it as you possibly could. I'm not going to use all the fat because I'm going to drain some, but I'm going to cook the spinach in a little bit of the bacon fat. So I want to make sure I have some, at least to cook my spinach in. All right, so let's cook our bacon.
Please say what we're making again, Lynette.
Sure, yeah, we're making the spinach and bacon quiche. So we just had the pie crust come out of the oven, and it's a little teeny bit brown. It's not really brown because I know it's going to go back in there with the quiche to make the quiche. So it just came out. I can bring it up here if you want, but I'll show them in a minute.
Yeah.
So right now we're just cooking our bacon, and we're also making some fried potatoes. So that'll be coming up too. So let's just cook our bacon. I was going to pre-cook the bacon, but you know, it don't take that long to cook bacon. Yeah, I know it smells good already because of the bacon. Any questions, or we good to go?
Good morning. Hard for you to see the name. Dauntless. Good morning, Dauntless.
Good morning.
Dauntless.
Good morning, Dauntless. Good morning. I'm still appreciative of Michelle for giving us that tip, because we wouldn't have known that.
Yep. She said she's been doing it in the TikTok streets for a while, so she knows how the rules.
Exactly.
What the rules are.
Because it popped up right after she said that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you, Michelle.
Sorry, TikTok. It's my fault.
We learned. So now we just wait for our bacon to cook. It's a come. I know I made an extra piece for myself.
She says tap the screen, everybody, so we can get them out to others for your pages.
Oh, okay.
She's telling them to tap the screen.
Thank you. So we tap the screen. I guess that'll share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Now let's get this bacon nice and browned up. Now if you don't want to use bacon, you can just use only spinach. You don't have to add bacon, or you can do sausage or crab or whatever, shrimp, whatever you want to do. Or you can just, like I said, do spinach, add extra vegetables like broccoli. Quiche can kind of be made however you want. I make a really good crab and shrimp one that's really, really good. We'll do that one day too. But it's the same process, but I just cook the crab. It's already cooked, but I just saute in a little bit of butter, some shallots, garlic, just to jazz it up a little bit of Old Bay. and then I add it to my quiche. So
Talk louder.
okay, I'll be adding it. I know it's loud over here.
Yeah, no tell off.
All right, so let's get this bacon browned up. I'm being careful because sometimes I cut the pan up a little too high.
Yeah.
And you end up with some extra crispy pieces. We'll put it that way. But a lot of times, because we're caterers, we have to cook the bacon in the oven because we make a lot for a lot of people. So, any questions? Or we good to go? Oh, I see some hearts. Thank you all. Thank you TikTok. Thank you Facebook.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the stars and for the heart and coins. I think it's coins too.
I think so. Yeah. They have coins and roses and diamonds. I'm about to talk to Michelle. She can explain to me what all of that is. Like the diamonds, the hearts, the roses. There's a lot of different things that I really don't know what it means. I just appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining our live. Hopefully we'll be back to regular schedule by next Tuesday.
Yep. All right, so our bacon is almost done. You want to get it crispy. I mean, it's not going to stay crispy. You just want to get it nice and brown. Because once it goes in the quiche, it's going to have custard on top of it and cheese and all that stuff. So, but you just want to make sure it's fully cooked. Now, if you want to take a shortcut, you can use bacon bits. That's up to you, though. If you want to do it, I'm not opposed to it. If that's what you want to do.
I'm opposed to it.
You don't even eat bacon.
That's okay. That's not right. You don't put bacon bits.
Listen, some people don't have time to do all of that. Okay?
All you gotta do is make some bacon. It's not hard to do.
That's what this one looks perfect. This is ready to go. This may be my piece. Which I think. That's good. I got some paper towels over here. I'm just going to drain the bacon on my paper towels.
Guys, don't put bacon bits in no quiche, please. Pay no
Get a
attention.
good quality.
Pay no attention to Lynette.
I'm always trying to give alternatives. I know everybody don't have time for everything. And bacon is expensive.
Oh, it is. That's true.
Yeah. All right, so get this bacon out of the pan. Just going to drain it. And then I'm going to drain all but about maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of the bacon fat. But this is what I was saying. I started on low, and we have a nice, look at all this fat that the bacon rendered. I know some people save bacon fat. But when you put it in a hot pan first, you don't get all that fat. The bacon actually sticks to the pan.
And most of you all probably already know this, but if you like bacon and you like collard greens, put some of that bacon fat in the greens. Boy, you have some yummy greens. Well, that's back in the days when I used to eat bacon or pork. Excuse me.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to have a little bit of bacon fat in my pan. If I need to add more later, I can, but I put it off to the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the onion and the garlic first. And start to cook that down a little bit. I may use my plastic spoon to be breaking this bowl.
So Michelle says certain bacon bits are good.
That's what I just said.
She says especially those at Aldi. They are real bacon. That's true. That's true.
And see, when I, we run a concession stand out of this kitchen. Some of y'all may know that. And we do baked potatoes. And I buy big 5-pound bags of bacon bits. But they're like a really good quality bacon bit. I mean,
it must be real then.
Chopped up. Yeah. I forgot what brand, but we get the big 5-pound bag. And you can tell it's just cooked bacon chopped up. And that's why I said you can actually use that. You won't have the bacon fat to cook this in. But just do some olive oil or whatever and you'll be fine. But yeah, you can definitely buy them.
So you take your onions and you cooking it in the bacon? Okay.
Yeah. But like I said, now of course if you weren't using bacon, you can just use some olive oil, whatever oil you like. You don't have to worry about not having bacon fat.
Michelle said she used those bacon bits for her scrambled eggs.
Oh yeah, they're good. See, Michelle knows what I'm talking about. You just don't want to be so loud. It smells good.
So is this like what you call sweating? Is that what this is?
So we're just sweating the onions. Thank you for saying that. So sweating, you're just cooking your onion over like a medium, almost like a lower heat, because you're not really trying to like brown or scorch anything. You just want to cook them till they're almost translucent. All right, so we're just going to give it like another 30 seconds, and I'm going to go ahead and add the spinach to the pan too, and get that going.
Michelle, yeah, try the bacon. You just need a little bit of bacon grease in your collard. I'm telling you,
It is good.
it is yummy. And maybe take some of these bacon pieces, crack them up, or what do you call it?
Like
Crumble them. Excuse me. Crumble them a little bit and put it in, and do it at the very end when the greens are like almost done, like maybe 98% done. Drop it in there, and you got some good eating.
Exactly. I'm gonna add a little drop of this bacon grease. I'm about to add the spinach in. Not too much.
Now, Lynette, speaking of bacon grease, remember when we went to the farm and we had that discussion about lard versus butter? What did that lady say to us about lard versus butter, the benefits of lard?
I don't remember what she said about the benefits. I remember she was saying it's better for you.
Yeah, she said
than butter.
Yeah, she said lard was better for you than butter in some different ways.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what she said, but we were trying to make a pie, right?
We were making biscuits.
Oh,
actually.
biscuits.
Yeah, we were making biscuits.
And it didn't taste all that great.
Yeah, like, lard has a taste, it's a little bit. It's like, so you have to be used to it, the taste of it. And we're so used to butter that it was just a little bit, like, to us, it's off-putting. I've had lard before in biscuits. It's just not my personal preference. I know a lot of people do cook with lard instead of butter or whatever.
Good morning, Angela. Let's see here. Michelle says, makes sense because I use bacon when I fry my cabbage. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I'm going to go in with a little bit of salt and our spinach, not too much. And pepper, but I don't have the pepper. It's over there, so we're going to pretend that I added it.
Thank you for sharing the live, Angela.
Thank you. Now, like I said, that seems like a lot of spinach, but y'all already know this spinach is going to cook down to next to nothing. Okay, so it's not too much. This is like I had an 8-ounce bag. It's probably like 3/4 of the bag that I use right here. So it looks like a lot, but y'all know how spinach is. It's going to cook down. All right, so let's get it coated.
Angela says, you're welcome. So once again, Lynette, for those that are just joining us, please tell us what we're making.
Sure. So we're cooking the spinach, onion, and garlic for our spinach and bacon quiche. And then we're also going to do some fried potatoes. We just cooked our bacon, so I am cooking the spinach, onion, and garlic in the bacon fat. A little bit of the bacon fat from us cooking the bacon.
You're saying, Michelle, you're saying that the live is freezing? Oh, that's what I was worried about. She's going to go.
Internet connection.
Yeah, I don't know. Are there anybody else on TikTok experiencing freeze? Because it could be our Wi-Fi.
It could be. All right, so this is our spinach. This right here is good enough. You don't really have to cook it down too much more than this. And you can see our onions are nice and translucent. Our garlic is softened up.
Everybody's. Gosh, is there a way we can turn your Wi-Fi off?
You said turn it off.
I think we'll get a better. Just that. Okay, we apologize, guys. Unfortunately, we're at our commercial kitchen today, not at the studio. Go first on that. Let me go first.
So what do you want me to cut off the Wi-Fi, you said?
Okay, everybody. Angela says yes, it's freezing. Okay. All right. What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to cut off the Wi-Fi. See, everybody keeps coming out and coming back in.
All right. Let me see. So let me stay here. Let's see if we can troubleshoot.
Facebook might be doing the same thing. Okay.
Let's see if we can troubleshoot.
Let me do it.
She said she's back. She said cut off my Wi-Fi.
Yeah. No.
And then cut it back on.
No. Leave it off. Let's see
Okay. Somebody said it's good now. They came back in.
Okay. Let me ask you guys something. We just cut off our Wi-Fi and we're trying to rely upon the cell phone Wi-Fi. How does it show now? I wonder if I need to do that for this one too. Okay, we're gonna reconnect on Facebook. We're reconnecting on TikTok. Okay, can somebody tell us if we got a good Wi-Fi feed? Still freezing. It's intermittent. Okay. Okay. Try. Okay. Let me know. Trying to fix it. Is it still freezing?
She hasn't said yet.
All right, guys.
All right, so I got my spinach right here. So this is our spinach, our onion, and our garlic for our quiche. All right, so let me grab the pie shell and the other ingredients we need for the quiche is right here. We're gonna put it all together and get this in the oven, and then we're gonna make our fried potatoes. So there's our pie crust. You can show them that it's just a little bit brown. I didn't want to overdo it.
So you talk about it being part baked.
Yeah, so we par baked our pie crust for those who just joined, and I only popped it in that 350-degree oven for maybe about 10 minutes. It wasn't long at all. I just wanted to get a little bit brown. I don't want it to brown too much because it is going back in the oven. So that's our pie crust. I didn't use any pie weights or anything like that. I just popped it in the oven. All right, and you can of course do it, but I try to think about the fact that everybody don't have certain things like pie weights. You just got your this together. It seems like a lot, but it's really not. It's really not. Let me grab my whips.
Okay, guys, we're gonna try to get through this as quickly as we can. Sorry again for the live crashing and freezing.
All right, so let's make the custard so we have it ready. So I have my eggs right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and whisk up my eggs. I have 4 eggs. Can they see? And then I have a little bit of salt, a little bit of cayenne pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg. Just a little pinch, all right? So about a half a teaspoon of salt, and then a pinch of nutmeg and a pinch of cayenne pepper. So let's add that to our eggs. And then I'm going to add in 1.5 cup of half and half. And half is like a cross between milk and heavy cream. And some people asked me last time what was half and half. So I have the container, the empty container, to show you what it is. This is how it comes in the store. It says half and half. All right, so you all know what it is. All right, so let me just whisk this together. Quiche is so simple to make, I'm telling you all. Alright, so just whisk it together. I probably will have to whisk it again right before I pour it into my pie dish, but just get it together for right now. Got that. Got my glove. So what I like to do, I put a little bit of cheese in the bottom of the crust first. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of cheese. I have Monterey Jack, but you can use whatever kind you like. I made a quiche last week and I used smoked Gouda. That was really, really good with the spinach and smoked Gouda quiche. So it really just depends on what kind of cheese you want to use. Just feel free to have fun with it. So, got my gloves on, got my bacon, I got my pie. And the bottom of our pie crust.
So that's why I don't like doing it anymore. I told you that was going to happen. Okay, Michelle, thank you so much. Shoot. We're going to see what we can do to fix it.
I'm going to put some of the spinach, onion, and garlic right on top of that cheese. I may not be able to fit all of it, but as much as you can. Let's see. And then I'm going to crumble on the bacon. Now remember, if you want to do it without the bacon, just do spinach. You don't have to worry about doing the bacon. If you're not doing pork, or if you want to substitute shrimp or, you know, sausage, like turkey sausage, crab, whatever you want to do. All right, so let's take a few pieces of this bacon, and we're going to crumble that on too. And for those just coming on, we cooked the spinach, onion, and garlic in a little bit of the bacon fat. And then, let's do that. There's one more piece. last but not least, I'm going to pour over that custard that we just made, which is right here. And we may not be able to fit all of it. We're going to see. So I'll pour some in usually and let it kind of seep down a little bit.
By now, with all those ingredients.
I know, it is a lot.
But it's worth it, though.
It is. So just let it seep down some. And then I can use my tongs to kind of just move the things around. And you'll notice that the custard starts to seep down and make sure everything is mixed in. Now this is looking good already, okay? So if you had 2 pie shells that were not deep dish, a little bit more cheese. And you see I have my board covered in some parchment paper because sometimes some of the filling does, you know, kind of run over the side a little bit. And you do not want to clean up burnt on egg, okay? Alright, so mix in a little bit more. It's a delicate process. But it all comes together beautifully at the end.
Guys, we're gonna try to be at the studio kitchen Tuesday, where we get better set.
Alright, so I think it looks good. That looks good to me. Now, unfortunately, sometimes I'm a glutton for punishment, so I pour a little bit of extra, and if it seeps out, it's fine. But I want to make sure I have everything covered. This is what I do. I know, I do this all the time. I always have a little bit extra. There we go. That looks good. Alright, so I'm going to pop this in the oven and let it bake, and then we're going to start on our fried potatoes.
Okay, so Michelle asked, could you use the same mixture for frittatas?
For the frittata?
Frittata, excuse me.
For the frittata, I wouldn't do as much, a little bit less milk. Or the half and half. So usually when I do a frittata, I do 8 eggs and about 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of milk. That's how I do the frittata. So just a little bit less of the milk, or half and half in this case. Yeah, but I usually do, like I said, 8 eggs and about 1/2 cup. Okay? Alright, so let's work on the fried potatoes. We want to cut up our potatoes. We already have the peppers and onions cut up. So I have 3 potatoes. You can do, of course, as much or as little as you like. So for those who just came on, I cut up 1/2 of a very large onion. We had a big onion. So if you had a regular medium-sized onion, one of those would do, and I cut out 1 red bell pepper. Alright, so our potatoes have already been washed. We're going to go ahead and cut those up. I waited because, you know, potatoes turn brown. So if I would have cut them up earlier, they would have probably turned brown. So I'm just going to go ahead and start to cut them. You know what? I just moved my, this reminded me because that thing slipped. Things or whatever, I like that one. Alright, so there's my thing. Alright, then you just want to cut it. I usually cut them kind of like a nice size. So just cut them like that. If you want them smaller, definitely cut them smaller. Totally up to you. Alright. Say it again? Okay, let me get it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Be right back. So we're cutting up potatoes.
Sorry, guys. I need some assistance. So Lynette's going to give me some help right quick. And we'll be back on. We'll be back in 1 minute. Once again, sorry for the freezing. We're at our commercial kitchen doing a live today. We're almost done, guys. Lynette Lynette's gonna come back in about 30 seconds, hopefully. Okay. Oh boy.
All right, guys, I'm back. So let me finish cutting up these potatoes. So, like I said, you can cut them whatever size you like.
Back to
2 more. And these are kind of big, so I just cut them into thirds first. Cut off them little brown pieces. Get rid of those.
Mom about the come on. I need you to hold this for me. Yeah, I need you to hold that. You may have to hold this one too.
And then we got one more. Like I said, if you want to do more potatoes, definitely just do more. Usually 3 is enough for us. There's only 3 of us here, so 1 per person.
Oh yeah. Just follow me. Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead.
All right, so potatoes are ready. So we got potatoes, we have our bell pepper and our onion, and then we have some oil at the stove. I'm going to grab my seasonings, and then we'll be good to go. So let's go ahead over to the stove. Come on this way.
Okay, let us go first on that.
Okay, go ahead.
Turn it around, Mom. Turn up, Mom. Turn.
Alright, so let's go here. I'm going to get this pan heated up. And then let me grab my seasoning.
You gotta go.
Alright, so got our pan heating up. The fried potatoes are very easy to make, like super simple to make. I don't like to use a lot of oil, just enough for the potatoes. The biggest thing is you just want to make sure you have a lid that can cover them and kind of let them steam when you make them. So I'm going to do just a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Get the pan nice and hot. I got a little piece of onion that fell in the pan from when we were doing the bacon and the spinach.
Don't do a lot of it. Just keep it in one spot.
So once it gets out, let me let it heat up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes.
You'll make them dizzy if you keep doing this.
Now I'm going to let the potatoes cook for a little bit before I add the peppers and onions. Sometimes when I add the peppers and onions too early, they start to burn a little bit. So I try to add them a little bit later on. So maybe after the first or couple turns of the potatoes. So the oil should be hot. Let's see. I hope we get a sizzle. Y'all know I like the sizzle. A little sizzle. And just let them start to cook. We want to cook them uncovered first, and then we'll cover them up. Alright, so I'm just going to let them brown a little bit. I want them to start to cook. A regular salt if you like instead of nature seasoning, totally up to you. And that quiche is in the oven, so hopefully by the time our potatoes are ready, our quiche will be ready too. Or at least almost ready so I can show you what it looks like. Just let these go. If I was doing something else, we could do that at the same time, but these are the 2 things we're doing today. Alright, let's see how we're looking.
Once again, family. And it's also very tight in here. We hope to be at our studio kitchen on Tuesday. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern
Standard Time. Today we're late, but we got you. All right, so I'm gonna season a little bit of nature seasoning. Now potatoes can take seasoning, so I mean you don't have to go super light, but you don't want to overdo it either. But you know potatoes, it's easy to under season them. So let's do some black pepper. I do not want to start seasoning. Okay. Just gonna let them keep cooking. This is one of them things you just kind of like watching, like okay, watching paint dry, but it's gonna cook. Just start moving on a little bit. They're mainly going to steam, but I just like to get them cooking a little bit to start, and then they're going to steam. They smell good already. We barely got anything in the pan, and they already smell good. Y'all know how it is. When you start to season up your food, it starts smelling real good. A little bit more nature seasoning. If you want to do garlic salt, you can, or garlic powder, you can do that too. But I think the nature seasoning, the black pepper, is good enough. That's what I usually use, or just regular salt and pepper. Get that little brown potato out of there. Who likes to make fried potatoes? I know it's a staple in a lot of households on the weekend. We love them. Now sometimes, if I'm making them for a lot of people, do my peppers and onions. To make them for more than a few people, just put them right in the oven. You drop them in the pan like this, just for a few minutes with a little bit of peppers and onions, and that's a quick fried potato that you don't have to worry about the person waiting for them to be ready. Like when we're doing breakfast events and we have to make orders like on demand, I'll just fry a whole bunch of them, put them in a bowl, and as I'm ready to cook them, make small batches at a time, and they come together in a few minutes. So that's a couple little things that we do. Little things that we do. All right, so this is looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my peppers and onions. And like I said, I didn't add them at the very beginning because sometimes when you add them too soon, they start to burn. And you don't want that. Just stir it all together. Yeah, this looks good and smells good already. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut the heat on medium. I don't want them to burn. I'm going to put a lid on them. The lid does not fit the pan. It's going to fit tomato. And then every couple minutes, we'll check them. All right? So we're good to go. So now, my mom. So we're just going to give them a couple minutes covered. And then basically you just stir them periodically every couple minutes. It doesn't take a long time, but you do want to make sure you stir them up. And then as they get soft, that's when they're ready. Just pull them out. Now I know some people add water to steam them and stuff like that. I just rely on the lid and the steam from the lid.
Michelle said you're doing just fine.
Thank you, Michelle. There's a lot of hiccups over here if you can't tell.
Just joining. Emily.
Hello.
A lot of people are joining.
Oh, good. Thank y'all for joining. So for those just joining, right now we're doing fried potatoes. We also made a spinach and bacon quiche, which is in the oven. So we cooked some spinach. We cooked some spinach and cooked some bacon. Custard. So that's in the oven. Here, like I said, we're doing. Every minute or so, we're gonna check the potato. The steam is going to cook. And they already started returning. Have to add any more oil. Usually it's enough. And if you add too much oil, they'll end up being greasy. So really rely on that steam to cook your potatoes. A little bit of oil that I had in the beginning is usually enough to fry the potatoes. And this pan is non-stick too, so that helps a lot too. Let's give it another minute. And we'll check them again. I didn't want to do this process before we started because you're not really learning how to make them if you don't make them. So what's the point? Give them a minute. If you got questions, let us know.
She'll say it's still freezing. So I'm trying to fix that.
Yes, the internet connection. All right, let's check them again.